Of the show, Patsy Noonan, a grand woman, and we're lucky to have her. We're happy to have her present today.
Wow, that's the name of our group.
Wow.
Right. Windsor on watch. We're watching you. Okay. I want to start by honoring Edwina Sandys. She's our sculptor. But she's also a novelist and a painter. And best of all, she's a committed environmentalist and social activist. How did I get her? So when we get to a sculpture like Eve's apple, it's time to relax because it's story time. Now this is the oldest story probably in the world. I'm sure you heard it at Sunday school. And it comes from the book of Genesis. I've been looking for that in the library, but they keep moving the libraries. Okay. So, once upon a time, God gave Adam and Eve a beautiful garden, the Garden of Eden. And they had a beautiful river and lakes and trees and plants and fruit. They had everything. And best of all, God gave Adam and Eve to each other because they were the caretakers of the Garden of Eden. So at the beginning, everything was fine, you know, like us. But then the trouble started. They weren't happy. That God had said, don't eat from just this one tree, the tree of good and evil. I'm sorry to say that my sister Eve was the first one to bite into that apple. I'm also sorry she had nail polish on. But worse than that, feeling guilty, she made poor Adam bite into the apple too. So they committed what we call original sin. Your sins aren't original. So, what's our story today? We too have a beautiful garden. Look at our river. Look at our great lakes. Look at the beautiful black earth in Essex County. Look at our trees. And what else do I want? Oh, look at our animals that befriend us and provide us sustenance. Our birds that sing, Claire. Insects that pollinate our plants. And most important of all, air that enables us to survive. Remember that. But there's bad news with this beautiful earth. Our human report card for Earth Care 101, we failed. And the teacher said our major problem is too much greenhouse gas, which comes from our addiction to oil and coal, fossil fuels. So that's our new tree of good and evil, and we better try to stay away from it. And that's why we come together today, to join with passionate people all over the world who are trying to become better, responsible caretakers of this planet, our beautiful Mother Earth. Thank you.
That was beautiful. The next sculpture that we are going to do is actually not here. It moved in front of the art gallery, and it was some bronze sculptures of trees. So rather than skip doing a tree presentation, we're going to use live trees. And so if you can see, there's the little shrubs on the right hand side and the bigger trees on the left. We're just going to move down the path a little ways and do a presentation about what would have been the tree sculpture. Our next presenter, friend of our group, a member, Lenora Langs, Trees.
I want you to use your imagination, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. There used to be 3 sculptured trees here, but if you want to see them now, you have to go over and see them on the art gallery lawn. They were done by Tony Putnam, and they're made from copper, hammered copper. And now there are 5 of them, and you can go see them over there. But right now, you just have to pretend they're here and pretend you can see them. So I want you to use your imagination for some other things too. I want you to imagine all of these trees are gone. Not just the ones that were made out of hammered copper, but all these trees. Imagine what it would be like. Think of all the places around the world right now where all the trees are disappearing. Think of Southeast Asia, where they're burning the trees, where they're cutting down the trees to make space to build resorts so we can go on marvelous holidays, or to build wonderful furniture out of teak and mahogany so we can go and buy this beautiful furniture to put all in our homes. Think of South America, where they're cutting down, burning down, chopping down the tropical rainforest so there will be land for cattle, so we can have our hamburgers. Taking down the trees so they can plant grain to feed those cattle and for other agricultural uses. But that land is not meant to grow things on, it's meant for trees to grow on, and that land will only be fertile for a couple of years, and then it will be waste. Come closer to home. Anybody who's ever flown over British Columbia has looked down and seen the hillsides denuded of trees, clear-cut trees. This is one of the reasons that the Japanese beetle is playing havoc with our western forests, because we've handled our forests so badly and weakened them. When the trees are gone, there are no roots, there are no leaves falling to hold the soil, so you get erosion. The soil blows away. It goes into the streams and the rivers. The fish aren't able to spawn. The habitat is gone for the birds, for the animals. Come closer to home. Have you been down around Toronto lately, around Niagara Falls? Remember, there used to be all those miles and miles of fruit orchards. Now there are miles and miles of malls and houses and tourist attractions. You can drive from Toronto to Barrie and hardly ever see a tree that used to be all forested. Now it's bedroom communities for Toronto. We're killing all the trees. We're getting rid of the trees. Now, oh well, so what? We've got all that nice furniture and all those nice malls and all those hamburgers, but we need the trees. It's the trees that take the pollutants out of the air. A forest of trees can remove tons of pollutants. The trees take carbon dioxide out of the air at night. In the daytime, the trees make the oxygen that we are all breathing right this minute. We have to have the trees. We need the trees. We need to look after the trees. And I say, save the trees.
Save the trees. Yes.
Excellent presentation. That was wonderful. Okay, the next. What's that? Oh, thanks for stopping by. Climate change awareness. Next is going to be the king and queen sculpture.